How's it going, everyone? This is Paul Garcia at ProjectSpurs.com. Just me today on Monday, September 26th. What I've done is I've listened to all the audio from all the players that spoke at me today for the San Antonio Spurs, and then also I got some quotes from Coach Pop on Twitter. And so I'm going to go through just a few interesting topics that I pulled from the quotes. So some notable quotes, in my opinion. So let's first begin with the point guard vacancy. This first quote is from Coach Pop via Tom Osborne of the San Antonio Express News. He put this on Twitter. Coach Pop, when asked about the starting lineup and specifically the point guard, he said Jakob Poeltl was our 5. We'll go from there. So Pop, didn't give away exactly who's the point guard. He basically, it sounds like it's an open lineup, like everyone's battling for their positions except for Jakob in that starting group. Josh Primo was asked, are you basically ready to handle the point guard duties if the team, needs you to run point guard? And he said, yes. He says, I feel like absolutely I'm ready for that, to be able to handle the ball more, be a leader in terms of being a floor general, and that'll be fun. It'll be a good challenge for me. So there's Primo, who did say, he still likes to be more of a positionless player, whether he's playing at the 2 or the 1. That's where he's most comfortable. But again, if he needs to take on the point guard role, he's ready to do that. Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell both noted how the team wants to have multiple ball handlers with players kind of pushing the pace. So Devin said this. He says, I think 1 through 4, we can all bring the ball up. So Devin says, they want to surprise some teams by getting a defensive rebound and just immediately pushing out the ball, especially if a player catches it, who's in that 1 through 4 position. They want everyone to be able to push the pace against their opponents. So again, as far as the point guard vacancy, we don't exactly know who's going to be the point guard for this team, but these are just a few of the quotes that came out on the opening day of Me Today. The next few quotes here are about more the expectation goals for the season. So we know that according to Vegas, the Spurs are expected to have one of the top 5 worst records. And so the players don't want to hear that. These are players who are very competitive. They don't want to just hear that, oh, you need a tank and get the best lottery pick. So let's just go through a few players and their quotes about this team being competitive this season. Josh Primo said, we want to make the playoffs, and that's the consensus for a lot of guys here. And that's going to be the goal for the whole season. From the beginning, that's going to be what we're going for. We're going to have fun doing it. Keldon Johnson said, we're going out there to win. I feel like we're capable of winning. I feel like we're not backing down from anybody. I feel like whoever they put in front of us, that's who we're going to go get after. And I feel like we're not taking a backseat to no one. That's all 82 games. So again, Keldon is a very competitive player. He's going to be ready for each of these 82 games. Jakob Poeltl had more of a balanced answer where he understands, this is a very young team that the Spurs are putting together for this coming season. He said, we always want to keep our goals high, so we definitely want to compete for those postseason spots. It's going to be a challenge. It's a tough ask for such a young team, but I think we can do it. So again, Jakob's being a little bit more balanced there on his answer, saying that he does understand this is a younger team that the Spurs are sending out onto the floor this coming season. These are just a few other notable quotes that I pulled here from the interviews. First of all, from Coach Pop, this one comes again from Tom Osborne of the San Antonio Express News via Twitter on the rookies getting minutes. Pop basically said that unlike most seasons, this is a chance for some rookies to maybe earn an earlier roster spot in terms of the rotation. He said there will be some guys getting minutes much quicker than they might have expected, which is also fun to just throw them in the fire and see who survives, see who needs what. Somebody needs more confidence, somebody needs a kick in the butt. Jakob Poeltl kind of reiterated what Pop said, where he said that training camp's gonna be a big decision for a lot of these young guys to maybe earn a role for themselves in training camp in the preseason. So again, Poeltl is echoing what Coach Pop said there. Josh Primo was asked about putting on more muscle, getting stronger. He says that that's going to definitely benefit him, especially on the defensive end. He said, oh my gosh, it's been so helpful, especially on defense, being able to take contact, absorb contact, and be able to stay in position. That's been huge for me in this offseason, being able to play with some of the guys out there this summer. So there's Primo and adding some more muscle to his body. Keldon Johnson was asked about his dislocated shoulder injury, which was just released over the weekend, that news. He says, as far as the preseason, he says, so I'll miss the first part of camp, but we're looking at like halfway through, I'll be back fully going with the team. That's notable because, again, in the Spurs' press release when Keldon first got injured, they also said, they expected him to miss the start of the season. They didn't actually say he's going to miss the entire preseason, or the start of the preseason, should I say, not the whole season. Then when Keldon was asked, are you definitely going to be back for opening night against the Charlotte Hornets? He says, yeah, for sure, 100%. That's the plan. As long as everything goes as planned, I'll be back for the first regular season game. Last quote that I found notable is from Devin Vassell, where he was, what have you worked on this? He said, I worked on my handle. I worked on getting to the basket, free throws. I would say I worked on pretty much everything. I want to take pride defensively too. This is interesting again because Devin's one of those 3-level scorers who can score in the mid-range. He can score. He can hit the outside shot. He can also score on the inside. And again, with the team losing DeJounte Murray, they're going to need a player who they can go to in the half court. That might be Devin Vassell this year. He's the player most likely to take on that role. And so again, if he's added that element of getting to the basket a little bit more, getting to the free throw line, that's definitely going to help in that progress for him. So again, these are just a few of the quotes that I pulled from opening day of Spurs Media Day for this new season.